Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. Shizune stood outside the office, knocking on the door. She better not be sleeping again. She muttered to herself. When she heard no response, she quietly opened the door and found Tsunade sleeping again. Shizune let out a sigh. Things haven't changed much around here. She walked over to her desk and found that the paperwork from yesterday was still not complete. She gently shook her mentor awake. Tsunade-sama, you can't sleep like this. What would people say if they saw you? Tsunade stirred and answered groggily. They can kiss my. Tsunade-sama. Shizune interrupted her, not wanting her to develop any more bad habits. It's time to wake up Tsunade-sama. Tsunade got up and stretched. She yawned and saw the pile of paperwork increasing. Is it me or is the paperwork breeding like rabbits? Shizune giggled. No, that's just from this morning. Tsunade groaned. I have half a mind to use a Kaiden jutsu to make me a small bonfire. She glared straight at the paperwork. If she knew it was going to be this much work, she would have retired ages ago. Shizune quietly excused herself and went back to work, leaving Tsunade to get ready for another hectic day. Tsunade yawned and leaned back into her chair. She noticed the daily newspaper lying around on her desk. She poured herself a cup of tea and started reading the newspaper. As she browsed through the newspaper, she saw something that made her drop the cup. The cup fell from her hand and hit the floor, shattering it into many broken pieces. Shizune heard something shatter and came rushing in. Are you alright, Tsunade-sama? Tsunade slowly shook her head. She immediately ransacked her drawers, throwing away scrolls and papers while searching for something. Shizune approached her desk to see what the big commotion was. She started reading the newspaper for something unusual but stopped reading when she saw Tsunade pull out a small piece of paper. The lottery. Did you lose again? Shizune shook her head in disappointment. You have to stop gambling, Tsunade-sama. A Hokage with a debt the size of a mountain isn't good for someone of your reputation. No, it's not that. Tsunade stared at the ticket. Shizune, I just won the grand prize. Shizune gasps. This was bad. Very bad. Are you sure you won? Tsunade nodded her head. Shizune quickly grabbed the ticket and matched the numbers. It was unbelievable, she had really won. The last time she won something, Orochimaru was in town and Naruto almost died. It wasn't a pleasant memory for the both of them. What does this mean, Tsunade-sama? Tsunade sat back down, thinking. I don't know, Shizune, but be on high alert, something's bad is brewing. Shizune nodded and went back outside. Tsunade looked towards the window. Why do I keep picturing Naruto? She saw the clouds passing over the sun, covering it for a brief moment. I hope you're okay, Naruto. Sir. We have spotted the target. Do you want us to approach him? Fox carefully studied their target. Why would he stay in the open like that? The target was using himself as bait. He was luring them out into the open, waiting for them. Too bad that plan wouldn't work. Fox had all the time in the world. Tiger, stay down. It's too soon to attack. Affirmative, sir. Moving back into position now. Tiger moved back into the trees, waiting for further orders. He heard some noises moving behind him and turned around. Eagle. A lean figure stepped forward, away from the shadows of the trees. Why aren't we going in there and just him? The target's just standing there. Eagle pointed to the man standing in the open yard. Before Tiger could answer, a voice answered the question for him. Because the place is carefully monitored and there are 3 guards at each end of the house, making it a total of 12 fully armed bodyguards. If you want to be stupid and walk into your future gravesite, be my guest. It'll be less paperwork for me to do. My question now is, why are you still here and not at your post? Fox appeared behind his team. Tiger and Eagle turned around. Sir. They both saluted. Forgive Eagle, sir. She's new to the squad. Tiger pushed Eagle away, hoping the captain wouldn't take it as an insult. Fox merely glanced at her and shushed away. Eagle watched the man she only knew as her captain disappear. Is he always like that? Tiger laughed. You'll get used to it. Eagle sighed. But he's so infuriating. I said get back to your post. I don't like repeating myself. Eagle turned around to see Fox standing in front of her. From her point of view, her captain looks kind of intimidating. She was taken by surprise and fell down. High. She struggled to get back up, and when she did, her captain disappeared in smoke. Cage Bushin. Her eyes widened behind her mask. Yeah, captains like that. Tiger shrugged and continued to monitor the estate. Eagle shushed back to her spot. He needs to lighten up. 30 minutes later. Eagle. Tiger. Get ready. We're going in. You two are going in the back way. I'm taking the direct approach. Fox spoke through the headset. He waited 5 seconds before giving the signal. Okay. Move in. Eagle and Tiger both took a deep breath before replying. Affirmative. The team consisting of 3 people, Fox, Eagle, and Tiger, ran in to complete a Rank S assassination ordered by their cage. Screams and bloodshed erupted from the highly guarded mansion. The once guarded place owned by Kai Yen, a corrupted daimyo, was now empty. The life of a ninja is expected to be a short one. Ninjas are considered soldiers for their cages, willing to do and die for them without question. The best kind of soldiers are those that were willing to do whatever it takes to complete the mission, even if it means abandoning all your ideals just for this one moment. There are many paths in life, but yet, there is not a single path that a person can take which can be called the right path. The person known as Fox understood this. He understands the risks concerning the life of the ninja and knows that jobs like this one is strictly professional, not a child's game. Tycho. Are we done here? Tiger asked as he walked into the room. Eagle shortly entered after him. The first thing she saw was over 20 dead bodies, all mutilated in one way or another. Heads were missing as well as other body parts. She started feeling noxious and quickly removed her mask to vomit. Fox turned around and glared at her. Tiger waved his hands in front of Fox, trying to calm him down. Easy, Tycho, she's new. Remember that. Eagle looked up and saw Fox looking at her. If you're going to vomit every time you see something like this, then get the hell off my team. I have no need for weaklings. Tiger turned away. He felt sorry for Eagle. He heard the captain was one of the meanest people on the force. Eagle put back on her mask and stood up. Was it really necessary to everyone? She looked around the room. You didn't need to every one of them. Fox whipped out a scroll and sealed the head of Kai Yen into it. In this job, there can be no survivors, better get used to it. We're leaving. Fox started walking away and Tiger followed. Eagle stared at her captain. There were obviously no wounds on that man, and yet, there were evidence of a battle that took place here. Broken swords, blood spilled all over, and the captain didn't even get blood on his outfit. She was caught up in her little analysis that she didn't notice that her captain was standing by the door. Are you coming or are you going to keep vomiting? Do it on your own time and stop wasting mine. Eagle snapped back to reality and hurried to catch up with her team. It was almost midnight when the team arrived back in Konoha. Eagle was too tired to continue. She looked at her other 2 team members. They looked like they just came back from a walk. Sir, can we stop for a minute or something? She looked up, hoping he would be lenient for once. Fox turned back and saw her leaning over, using her knees as support. How the hell did you manage to pass the exams like that? Either the proctors must have pitied you or you bribed your way through. Eagle growled at him. She was too tired to put up with this shit any longer. She was about to lunge at him when Tiger held her back. Calm down, he's always like this. Just don't let him get to you. He whispered into her ear. Fox walked up to the front gate. Kotetsu, Azumo, are you guys there? Who goes there? A grouchy voice yelled back. It's Anbu Team Fox reporting back from a mission. Azumo immediately recognized the Anbu captain. He wasn't someone who you could just give a single glance to and forget. Fox was a person who could be labeled cold and dangerous and was known throughout Konoha. The villagers and ninjas alike knew and respected him as the Anbu captain. His enemies known to fear him as the Silent Storm. You wouldn't know where he was until you were dead. Just thinking about the man sent shivers down his spine. Azumo walked out of the box and bowed to him. Go right ahead, sir. The Hokage is expecting you. Fox walked past the bowing Chunin without saying a word. Kotetsu sat there, just watching the scene play out. He shook his head. Only a handful of people knew who the captain was and even less knew who was really under the mask. There has been rumors going on that Fox is on par with Itachi of Akatsuki, who was rumored to be on par with Jiraiya of the legendary Sanins. He always got a kick out of watching Fox do his job. He gives off the silent creepy feeling, but yet, at the same time, it felt cool knowing that Konoha has someone this strong serving under their Hokage. Fox looked at his team. Tiger was right behind him while Eagle was slightly lagging behind. He shook his head. Both of you are dismissed. Get out of my sight. Tiger nodded and began to walk away, dragging Eagle with him. Fox shunshin out of sight, with one destination in mind. When Fox disappeared, Eagle gave him the finger. What the hell is with that guy? It's like he got a stick up his. Tiger busted out laughing. Captain's been like this since he enlisted 4 months ago. Eagle gritted her teeth. God damn it. I hate him more than I hate the demon. If I had my way, both of them would have been dead by now. She gripped her knuckles and slammed the wall, causing some rubble to fall off. Tiger stayed back and observed her behavior. He shook his head. He gave us the night off. I'm going back to relax. I suggest you do the same. He disappeared, leaving her alone. Eagle cursed the day she joined his team. She punched the wall one last time before disappearing as well. Fox walked through the hollow hallways of the tower. The night winds made the atmosphere a bit chilly. Fox didn't mind the cold, it was something that he liked. It was a refreshing feeling. He walked up to the Hokage's door. It was wide open. Tsunade always left it open because no one dared to walk in unannounced, everyone except a selected few. The only time it would be closed is if she was sleeping or in a meeting. Fox stepped into the room and saw her furiously scribbling on the paperwork. When she didn't acknowledge his presence, he let out a cough. Tsunade looked up from her paperwork and saw Fox standing before her. Fox reporting in from a completed mission, Hokage-sama. Tsunade got up from her chair and stretched. She let out a yawn before signaling Fox to close the doors. When Fox closed the doors, Tsunade took out a bottle of sake. So I take it your mission was successful? Fox nodded his head. It went off without a hitch. He stood there, awaiting his next order. Tsunade took a sip of her sake. You know, you can remove your mask when it's only the two of us. Fox stood there, not making a movement. I don't feel like it, Hokage-sama. Tsunade gave him an angry look. Maybe you didn't hear me. I wasn't asking you if you felt like it. I'm ordering you to. Fox made no attempt to remove the mask. Tsunade sighed. Please take it off, Naruto. Fox sighed before giving in. He lifted his hands up to his mask and slowly removed it. He opened his eyes and looked straight at Tsunade. Hello, Tsunade-sama. Tsunade looked at the boy. The cheerful boy she once knew was gone. His body became tone, you can see the muscles perfectly on his arms and chest. His face has lost most of its baby fat and it was no longer the face of a young teenager, It was the face of a handsome young man. Ever since he joined the Anbu ranks, he has undergone a complete transformation. No one would mistake him for the same brat he was years ago. She looked down at her sake saucer and then at Naruto again. Ah, screw it. She threw the saucer into the wall and started drinking from the bottle. Naruto, have a seat. Naruto approached her desk and sat down in a chair. I will have the report to you within the hour. What is my next mission, Tsunade-sama? She put down her bottle before sitting back down. Naruto, I think you're working too much. Slow down and enjoy life. Go out and get yourself another girl. Tsunade stopped herself in mid-sentence, realizing what she was about to say. Naruto sat there, showing no emotions whatsoever. Tsunade heard about the split between Naruto and Sakura. She heard it through the local grapevine, which they heard it from Ino herself. She's been meaning to ask Naruto for what really happened between the two of them, but whenever she tried looking for Naruto, he was always out on a mission. Naruto, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Naruto shook his head. Don't worry yourself about it. It's nothing. Tsunade took another sip of sake. Want to talk about it, Naruto? She was carefully studying his facial expressions. So far, she found out that he was like a statue, unable to change his emotions. It was true that he changed. He was no longer the social and loud-mouthed brat he once was. He was now embarking on missions like they were going out of style. When she got no response from Naruto, she sighed. Listen, Naruto, I'm worried about you. Hell, you even got Jiraiya to worry about you, and that man never worries about anything except his books. Naruto dropped his head. Naruto hesitated for a minute before continuing. Found out that we weren't exactly right for each other. Naruto took his time, trying to figure out what was the best way of telling her without reviewing too much. In his mind, he was replaying the scenes as if it was a broken record. He couldn't forget it, no matter how hard he tried. Flashback. 5 months ago, Naruto was someone who you could have considered the happiest man in the world. Nothing could have brought him down. Sakura and him was officially a couple of 2 months now, and nothing could spoil his mood. He had a date with Sakura tonight to celebrate their anniversary. Each time he looked into her eyes, he would always see the happiness that he brought to her world. What he didn't know was that everything was about to change. Azuma laughed quietly about the relationship that Tsunade and Naruto had. Only Naruto dared to speak to her like that in that tone. Well, she also said that if you don't come, she's closing down the ramen stand and banning ramen from Konoha. What? Naruto yelled at the man. Azuma covered his ears. When he looked back up, Naruto was gone, but you could see a pile of dust that the boy left behind. He chuckled to himself. Same old Naruto. Oba-chan, you better not touch the ramen. Naruto shouted as he barged into the room. Before he could say anything else, Tsunade hit him over the head with her fist. I thought I told you not to call me that, Naruto. She glared at the boy. Naruto rubbed his head before glaring back. Shikamaru let out of a little cough. Seems like they forgot that I'm also in here, how troublesome. Tsunade snapped back into reality and sat back down in her chair. Naruto followed her over and stood alongside Shikamaru. Hey Shikamaru, how's Tamari treating you? Shikamaru let out a sigh. Same old, same old. Women are just too troublesome. The boys turned back around when they heard a cracking sound. What was that, Shikamaru? Tsunade stared the young Chunin in the eye. Nothing. She nodded her head before opening a folder. I'm sending you two, along with a team, on a rank S mission. Yada. Naruto yelled out. You guys are leaving tonight. Naruto stopped jumping up and down when he heard the news. Tonight was supposed to be his night. Can it be tomorrow, Oba-chan? Tsunade gritted her teeth. Only a few more hours until she gets rid of him. She kept telling herself in her head. No, it has to be tonight because we have gotten word that Sasuke is in an isolated town just north of here. As I recalled, you wanted to be in this mission. Naruto quieted down. He stared hard at the ground before looking up. That's right, I have to bring him back. He nodded his head. So who else are we going with? Tsunade threw the file at Shikamaru, who opened it and read the information. Neji, Kiba, Shino, Lee and Choji. Naruto smiled. It's time to bring our lost buddy home. 3 days later, the special convoy team came back into the village, all bruised and battered up but still alive. They had engaged in battles with Orochimaru's new and upgraded Sound 4 along with Sasuke and Kabuto. It was not an easy fight, each of them considered themselves lucky for winning the battle. Naruto had it worst. The battle between him and Sasuke left him in a near-death state. Shikamaru witnessed the entire battle. Sasuke shoved a Chidori through his chest while Naruto barely recovered from that and knocked Sasuke out with a Udama Rasengan. Shikamaru then had the luxury of dragging them back with his Kajimane no Jutsu. Naruto woke up about halfway through the trip and carried Sasuke back on his own. When he arrived back into the village, every medic in the village rushed to meet the team. Sakura hurried through the crowd, pushing people out of the way. He had expected her to give him a hug when he returned, but she pushed him out of the way and went to work on Sasuke. Naruto figured Sasuke needed more medical attention than him, so he let it slide, but as time went on, when he went to see Sakura, she was always busy with Sasuke. It was a week later when he walked into the hospital room and overheard their conversation. So Sakura, would you like to have dinner with me tonight if you're not busy? Naruto laughed in his mind. She wouldn't do that. She knows that I was going to pick her up and take her out to dinner tonight. Of course, Sasuke-kun. He couldn't believe what was happening. He continued to listen to their conversation. Are you sure? I mean, Naruto's been here waiting for you a lot. Are you guys going out or something? It's not really like that. Naruto's heart shattered into a million pieces at that point. He began to walk away quickly, not caring where he went. He bumped into Shikamaru and mumbled an apology while running out. Later that night, Naruto stayed in his apartment, fiddling with the necklace he was supposed to give Sakura. He was not in the best of moods and he already cried himself out. There was nothing left to cry about. He heard a knock on the door, slowly got up and wondered who it was. When he opened the door, he saw Sakura standing there nervously. Hi Naruto, can we talk? He nodded his head and walked outside with her. So talk, Naruto said without looking at her. Sakura took a deep breath and hoped for the best. Naruto, I think we should break up. I need some time to myself to concentrate on my work. Naruto laughed to himself. You mean to study Sasuke? He stood up and closed his eyes. Okay, if that's what you want. Naruto stared at her for a second, looking into her eyes to see if she was under a spell or something. When he found nothing, he sighed. Sakura took one last look at him before leaving. I'm sorry, Naruto. Naruto watched her as she walked away. Naruto walked back into his apartment and drowned himself in sorrow. It was the next day when he saw Sakura and Sasuke in their regular training field, holding hands and lying next to each other. Naruto gritted his fist and left the area as quickly as he can. It was also the same day his whole world changed, where he enlisted in Anbu and quickly climbed the ranks into becoming the captain. Flashback end. You know I'm always here if you want to talk, Naruto. We all care about you. Me, Shizune, Iruka, Jiraiya, Kakashi, all your friends. Tsunade looked at the boy. She couldn't help but feel sorry for him. The boy has been through a lot and there will still be more troubles to come. She rarely saw the boy anymore. He was always busy with this and that, never showing up for any social events. She decided that it was time for action. Maybe she can bring the old Naruto back. Naruto, as for your next mission, it's ranked SS. If you accept, I'll go into details with you right now. Naruto's ears perked up when he heard that it was ranked SS. I accept the mission. Tsunade grinned. Your mission is to act as a regular civilian for the next 3 months. Consider yourself on a vacation, Naruto. Naruto frowned. Is this some kind of a joke, Tsunade-sama? I'm not laughing here. Tsunade glared at the boy for his rude outburst. Naruto caught on and calmed himself down. I do not see the logic behind your thinking, Tsunade-sama. Tsunade smiled at the boy. It's called relaxation. Trust me, you'll like it. Now get out of my office and start your rank SS mission. She started giggling as Naruto frowned, wondering what to do. He decided that he would think about it over some bowls of ramen. Naruto bowed his head and walked towards the door. Good night, Oba-chan. Tsunade's head quickly picked up to look at the boy to see if she really heard those words, but when she looked towards the door, it was already closed. He's back, sir. Should we begin now? A ninja kneeled in the middle of a dark room. A mysterious figure appeared before the kneeling ninja and nodded his head. Begin the operation immediately. Make sure to do this right or everything we planned up to this point will be for nothing. Right away, sir. The ninja disappeared into the shadows and the mysterious figure started laughing. It's only a matter of time now. Oi, old man, 3 bowls of miso please. Naruto shouted out his order before sitting down at the counter. Tsuki walked out from the back. Oh, it's you, Naruto. 3 bowls coming right up. Tsuki went back into the back and prepared the noodles. A few minutes later, he came right back out with the 3 bowls of miso ramen. Naruto looked hungrily at the ramen. Tsuki chuckled as he watched his best costumer rapidly eat it. Slow down, Naruto, or you'll end up choking. Naruto finished his first bowl and slowed down. WFFSAFUME. Tsuki stared at him. It's rude to speak with your mouth full, boy. Didn't I teach you any manners? Naruto quickly swallowed the noodles before asking his question again. I'm sorry. Where is Ayame-chan? Oh, she's out on a date with some boy. Tsuki watched the boy finish off his bowl. How can this boy eat so much ramen and yet still remain thin? It was a mystery the way he ate. Do you want any more, Naruto? Naruto shook his head. I have to turn in tonight, old man. I'll stop by tomorrow. Tsuki nodded his head and accepted the money that Naruto put down. Just as Naruto walked out of the bar, an explosion rocked the area, causing Tsuki to drop the plates. Old man, are you okay? Naruto ran back inside to check up on the old man. Tsuki slowly pulled himself up, shaking his head. Yeah, I think I'll be okay, Naruto. Naruto gave the old man a quick look over before nodding goodbye. When Naruto stepped back outside, he was stopped by 4 Anbu personnel, each standing there with their arms crossed. Anbu, short for Ansatsu Senjutsu Tokushu Butai, stood for the village's security task force. They are the elite of the elite, handling assassinations and high-risk missions to other countries. They are under the direct service of the Hokage. What can I do for you gentlemen at this hour of the night? The Anbu with the dog mask threw a fast punch that caught Naruto off guard. The punch sent him flying back into the counter of the ramen bar. Tsuki came to see what the commotion was about. What's going on here? Why are you beating on him? Stop right this instant. I will not allow fighting in my restaurant. Dog ignored the man and stood in front of Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, you are under arrested for acts of terrorism against Konoha. For destroying the Konoha hospital and ending 50 people in your little act. Naruto looked up at the man, with shocked eyes. What the hell are you talking about? I was here when the explosion occurred. Yes, I can vouch for him. He was here eating ramen when it happened. Tsuki quickly defended his loyal customer, the son that he never had. Shut up, you demon lover. The Anbu with the cat mask retorted back. Naruto got up and looked at the four Anbu. Well, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do it, so leave me alone. Naruto pushed his way past the Anbu squad but stopped when Cat caught his arm. You are coming with us, demon, or there will be trouble. Naruto quickly reversed it and threw him away. Don't touch me. I don't like it when people touch me without permission. Naruto turned his head and saw the other Anbu getting ready to attack. Cat quickly jumped back up and tackled Naruto from behind. Tsuki stepped in when he saw Naruto getting tackled. Get off him this instant. He pushed the Anbu off Naruto and was about to help Naruto up when the person in the wolf mask punched him in the stomach, sending him to the ground. Tsuki coughed some blood out and was breathing heavily. Stay out of this fight, you demon lover. Wolf spat out venomously. As Wolf turned around, he caught a fist to the face, causing him to stagger back and to comfort his broken bloody nose. Naruto appeared next to Tsuki and helped him up slowly. Are you okay, old man? Tsuki smiled weakly at Naruto. I'll be fine. Naruto nodded his head before turning his attention to the other Anbu. Cat was checking up on Wolf's condition while the others stood in front of them. Your captain would have been ashamed of you guys for hitting on defenseless civilians. Naruto stated as he stood in front of Tsuki. Dog laughed. The captain would have loved to beat your down demon. Be glad he isn't here to soil his hands on some demon filth. Naruto moved the ramen chef over to the chair before turning his head. You can accuse me of all the bullshit crimes you want, but when you guys involve innocent people in the fight, you guys just cross the line. Naruto disappeared out of sight. The team of Anbu looked all around. Cat looked around, preparing to take out the demon with one blow. He heard a whisper in his ear. How the hell did you make it into Anbu? He turned around quickly to find no one there but felt someone pulling him down. He out a scream as he tried to pull himself back up. Dog saw his teammate get dragged underground. Cat. The other members ran over to the spot where their teammate vanished. Damn you, demon. Come out and fight us. Wolf screamed into the air. Are you sure you guys are part of Anbu? Genins, give me a better challenge. Naruto walked out from the shadows. Don't look down on us, demon. Naruto's eyes quickly turned around to see Crow behind him. Naruto didn't know who Crow was, but he knew he was good enough if he was able to sneak up behind him. Crow quickly brought the ninjakin down on Naruto. Naruto barely jumped away in him. He looked down to see several cuts on his orange shirt. You son of a, that was my favorite shirt. Naruto went through some hand seals and took a deep breath. Kaden. Karyu Enden. A huge fire dragon appeared from Naruto's mouth and charged straight for the defenseless Anbu. Crow's eyes widened as he saw the size of that dragon. Oh shit. I'm screwed. Wolf quickly went through some hand seals to save his captain. Suiden. Suiryuden no Jutsu. Naruto turned around in time to see a water dragon coming towards him. He jumped away and saw the water dragon charging straight for his fire dragon. Both of these mighty dragons destroyed each other and produced steam that covered the area. Crow quickly formed some hand seals and took a deep breath. Futon. Datapa. He let out a breath of wind that cleared the area of steam. The team of Anbu saw Naruto just lying there on the ground, not moving. Did we get him? Dog turned his head to ask his team for their opinions, but when they all shrugged, they moved in as a team. They slowly approached the body, not sure of what to make of the scene. When they got near Naruto, the body disappeared in a puff of smoke. Blundering idiots. Your captain would have been crying if he saw this battle. They quickly turned around to see Naruto finishing up the last hand seal. Doden. Yomi Numa. The ground quickly turned into a swamp, preventing anyone from escaping. You guys aren't worthy enough to be in Anbu. Tell Cat I said hi when you guys see him. Naruto walked away as the rest of Anbu sank into the ground. Naruto quickly leapt away before the entire Anbu division came after him. He ran back to his apartment but found more Anbu there. He turned around and disappeared into a corner. Naruto walked into a narrow alleyway with a dead end. He moved himself into a corner and just sat there, wondering what was going on. What the hell is going on here? I know I didn't blow up the Konoha hospital. Many thoughts were racing through Naruto's mind. He looked up when he heard someone knocking over a garbage can. If you take one more step into this alleyway, I'll you in over 15 ways. He let out a small growl. He was not in a mood for more of this bullshit right now. Naruto. The voice called out. Naruto recognized that voice. Shizune-san. He saw the shadow of the figure slowly approaching him. Shizune walked towards him slowly, making sure it's the real one. It's me, Naruto. Naruto took out a kunai and held it where she can see it. How did you know I was here? Shizune saw the kunai and stopped advancing. Tsunade-sama saw your location through her crystal ball. She needs to talk to you quickly. Naruto nodded his head. As Naruto got up, Shizune noticed the bloodstain over his clothes. It's not my blood, Naruto quickly answered, before Shizune started asking too many questions. The two quickly shushed towards the Hokage tower. Naruto entered through the window while Shizune entered through the door. Tsunade heard the door open and wondered who it was. Naruto. Right behind you. She quickly turned around to see the boy leaning by the corner. She then turned right back around to see who it was by the door. She let out a sigh of relief when it was only Shizune. Thanks, Shizune. Shizune quickly closed the door and entered the room as well. Tsunade took a quick glance at Naruto. Naruto, what in the world happened to you? I was attacked by Anbu and now they're currently disposed off. Naruto said in a cold tone. Tsunade shrugged off the tone. So what happened, Naruto? She looked at him. His clothes was a mess and he looked like he'd been through hell. Naruto shrugged. I don't really know. Tsunade massaged her temples. Naruto. If you don't tell me, I can't really help you. Did you or did you not blow up the Konoha hospital? Naruto glared at her. Do you really believe that I would do something like that? Tsunade flopped down into her chair. No, but there are several key eyewitnesses that saw you entering and leaving as it exploded. The council is going to have a field day with this, Naruto. They have been looking for an excuse to execute you and now they may have the right reason. The two women looked at Naruto. He stood in his corner quietly, making no signs of conversation. Just tell me what you were doing, Naruto, and I'll help you out in any way I can. Naruto opened his eyes and stared at the door. The door busted open and the room soon filled up with root members. Danzo casually walked in. Thank you for capturing the fugitive Hokage-sama. Tsunade gritted her teeth. What the hell are you doing here? Danzo smiled. Why? To capture and detain Thier, of course. We received word that he was making his way up here and I thought he was going to you as well, Hokage-sama. Tsunade slammed her fist down on the table. This is my room and you're intruding. Leave now or I'll throw you and your root unit out. Danzo continued to stand there. Tell me you're not housing a wanted fugitive or you now, Hokage-sama. The council won't like this when they hear that their Hokage is siding with the demon. How dare you? Tsunade yelled out. She glared at the man. She knew he had a point. She was already in trouble for having Naruto here and she was risking everything if she let him get away. Tsunade sighed. Fine, take him away, Danzo, and I want a meeting with the council now. Shizune's eyes widened in surprise. What? Tsunade-sama, you can't be serious. Danzo smiled. As you wish, Hokage-sama. Naruto stared at the root unit. He doesn't know much about them and he could sense that they were all trained to on command. He could escape now, but that would cause the entire village to be after him. Take him to the rank SS prisoner center. His eyes widened when he heard Tsunade spoke of that. The rank SS center was one of the most unique and dangerous holding center there is in Konoha. What? Naruto yelled out. He began to struggle, which caused the root unit to hold him back. Take him away. Tsunade sighed and pointed towards the door. Danzo smiled. You heard your Hokage. Do it. Naruto shot Tsunade a cold glare, which Tsunade noticed but didn't respond. She was too busy convincing herself that this was the best thing to do. Shizune. Gather everyone now. Shizune nodded and disappeared. Tsunade watched as Naruto was taken away from her office. She started to break down in the middle of her office, hating herself for what was about to come. 30 minutes later. What the hell do you mean he's going to be executed at dawn? Tsunade brought her hands down to the table. She glared at the Council of Elders. You have no goddamn proof that Naruto was responsible for the explosion. We have our own eyewitnesses as well as sufficient evidence that shows him being responsible. Tsunade glared at the person who spoke up. Koharu returned an equally strong glared. If I didn't know any better, you guys were out to get him. Homura coughed. The clan heads have also came to a unanimous decision that he is to be executed for his actions. We have lived with the demon long enough. He is a liability to the village and everyone here. This meeting is over. Tsunade's eyes widen. What? I'm the Hokage here. I didn't say this meeting was over. Koharu stopped and turned her head. You're just a political figurehead. You don't have enough power to overturn the council's decision. She closed the door on her way out, leaving Tsunade to her own thoughts. Tsunade stared at the door, wishing that she could have bashed their heads in. Oh my god, Naruto, what have I done? Get up, you dirty demon. It's time for your trial. The guard kicked the bars, awakening Naruto. Naruto stirred for a bit, before rolling back on his side. Demon spawn, don't make me come in here. The guard took out a metal rod and started smacking the bars, disrupting Naruto's slumber. He didn't get any sleep the night before. The guard took pleasure in making his stay miserable and he didn't get any food. He was pissed off at his location. He didn't have a bed and had to make do with the cold, dirty floor, a demon hater guard, and all the demon haters in the village. Go stuff your face, you insolent fly. The guard's face turned red before picking a rock off the floor and throwing it at Naruto. Naruto felt something hitting him in the head. He stood up and glared at the guard. He ran and kicked the bars, scaring the guard. The guard saw Naruto approaching and tripped. Naruto started laughing. Ah, did I scare the big scary guard? The guard got up slowly. Laugh now, demon. I'll have the last laugh when I see your bloody body hanged. He signaled the other guards to come and get Naruto. Naruto sighed. He believed that Tsunade will get him out of this mess somehow. 1 hour later, Naruto was blindfolded and led around. He was all tensed up, being blinded and being led around by people who wanted nothing better than to just would make anyone tense up. He felt himself walking up the stairs and onto a platform. He heard the whispers and hissing coming from voices which he could assume were the villagers. His blindfold then came off and he took a look around. He was surprised to see that he was on a stage set in downtown Konoha. It looked like the entire village was there for his trial. Naruto walked up to a panel of judges, consisting of Hiashi Hyuga, Homura, Koharu, Danzo and Tsunade. They looked at him with a cold glare, with the exception of Tsunade, who didn't look him in the eye. Koharu cleared her throat, signaling for silence. Naruto Uzumaki, you are here today because of your crimes against Konoha. You have ridiculed the village with your pranks since your genin days and now you have taken it to the next level. You have blown up the Konoha hospital, ing the patients inside. Have you no shame? The crowd started booing him and throwing fruits and tomatoes at him. Koharu again signaled the crowd to quiet down but was pleased with the crowd's reaction. I didn't blow it up. Naruto yelled back. I wasn't even near that goddamn hospital. Hiashi stood up. Enough. Let us continue with the trial. Naruto Uzumaki, you are accused of the destruction of Konoha Hospital and the deaths of patients. How do you plead? Naruto gritted his teeth. This was ridiculous. I plead not guilty. He would have to play their game for now. He looked at his surroundings. Anbu and root units everywhere as well as Junins and Chunins just standing around, watching the so-called trial. Hiashi stood there, if he was slowly judging the boy. Can you call your first witness to the stand? Gladly. Naruto retorted. As the trial continued, Tsunade sighed in her seat. There was no way for Naruto to win this trial. Everyone is set to see the demon dead. Why aren't you doing anything, Tsunade-hime? Tsunade recognized that voice. It was a distinct yet familiar and comforting voice. Jiraiya. Things aren't look great for Naruto. Jiraiya looked at the boy. Yeah, I know. Why the hell aren't you doing something? Tsunade sighed. They have me at a cliff, Jiraiya. I can't do anything or I'll be considered a traitor as well. Like Naruto would have given a damn. Jiraiya shot back. He was disgusted with the way things were being ran. This wasn't a trial, it was an excuse to publicly humiliate the demon. There was no hope for Naruto, he was up against 4 of the most ignorant people ever to walk this planet. He silently stood next to Tsunade to watch the trial. Even him, the great hermit, can't do much to help Naruto. The kid will have to use every trick known to man to pull off this last stunt or else it will really be his last. I call Tsuki, the ramen chef from the Ichiraku ramen bar. He was there when the explosion occurred. Tsuki approached the platform and stood in front of the judges. Hiashi cleared his throat. So Tsuki, how long have you known the Dem-Air boy? Hiashi corrected himself and waited for the answer. Tsuki took his time answering. I known him all of my life, sir. Hiashi stood up and looked at Tsuki as if he was trying to get something out from the man. Then you know who he is. Of course, he's my best customer. He even protected me from the Anbu when they came to get him. Tsuki replied with a smile. The village was always against the boy, this was his way of showing Naruto that he wasn't alone in this cruel world. What did he do to the Anbu that was sent to retrieve him? Tsuki thought for a second. Well, first, they asked him to come for a crime he didn't commit but he refused and they started calling him a demon and then they attacked him when he didn't comply with their orders. Hiashi smiled. I see. So he resisted an arrest because he had something to hide. Naruto scowled at Hiashi. That man was twisting words and explanations to his benefit. Tsuki was surprised. No. The arrest made no sense. The boy was eating ramen in my shop when the explosion happened, there was no way it could have been him. Were you with him the entire time? Tsuki thought some more. Well, no. I had to go and cook something but the rest of the time, I was there. Hiashi smirked at Naruto. There we have it. The boy could have created a cage bushin and sent it to attack the hospital in your absence. Thank you for your time, Tsuki. Tsuki looked shocked at the Hyuga head. He was about to say something but stopped when he was escorted off the platform. As he passed Naruto, he gave him a small smile. I'm sorry, Naruto. Naruto shook his head. It's okay, old man. Thank you for being here. Tsuki walked off the stage. Naruto turned his attention back at Hiashi. You conniving bastard. How dare you twist the story around? Naruto started to leak out some intent. You're in my house now, Uzumaki. I call forth Danzo to the spotlight. Naruto glared at the man who took his time walking onto the stage. I'm told that you have evidence to show that Naruto was the one responsible for this. Danzo nodded his head and proceeded to call his eyewitness. Danzo cleared his throat before facing Naruto. I call forth Sasuke Uchiha to the stand. Naruto's eyes widened as he heard the name. Sasuke was the last person he would have thought to be on the stage. Sasuke walked up to Danzo and Hiashi. Sasuke Uchiha, where were you on the night when the hospital exploded? Sasuke took a deep breath before answering. I was walking home with Sakura when it happened. We were a block away from the hospital when we saw a window shatter and someone jumped out. I immediately activated my Sharingan and recognized the man. Naruto stared at Sasuke. He couldn't believe that Sasuke was turning against him. Who was this man Sasuke? Sasuke took another deep breath and pointed at Naruto. It was him, sir. He was wearing the same outfit that he is wearing now. What? Naruto shouted. Stop this bullshit. You know it wasn't me, Sasuke. Naruto shrugged off his guards and walked up to Sasuke. If this is some joke, Sasuke, I'm not laughing. Playing with people's lives is sick. Naruto stood in front of Sasuke's face and held him up by the collar. The crowd started screaming. You know it wasn't me, you bastard. Hiashi immediately took action. Someone contain him now. Naruto was pulled back by 5 Anbu. The crowd started chanting death to the demon. Hiashi raised his hand to silence them once more. How can you be sure it was Naruto, Sasuke? Naruto is a master of the Kage Bushin and used it most effectively against me when he was fighting to take me back to Konoha. Naruto stared in disbelief at the last Uchiha. What did he do with the Kage Bushin, Sasuke, during your fight? Sasuke gripped his knuckles tightly. He made a Rasengan with a clone to distract me while the real one snuck behind me and hit me on the stomach with a Rasengan. The crowd gasps. Naruto stared at him in disbelief. What the hell, Sasuke? Why? Silence, demon. You have done enough damage. Hiashi glared at Naruto and had more guards to restrain him. Get your hands off me. Naruto tried to remove the guards off him but failed. Hiashi turned his attention to several Anbu standing next to Naruto. Get your captain here now. We might need him for security purposes. I'm afraid we don't need to. Danzo interrupted Hiashi. Tsunade gasped at Danzo. He knows. That bastard knows. Danzo smiled innocently towards Tsunade before smirking at Naruto. Your Anbu captain is right here. Danzo pointed his cane towards him. Everyone looked around, trying to see if he was really here or not. Naruto Uzumaki, otherwise known as the Silent Storm, or better yet, our Anbu captain. Everyone stared at Naruto. Everyone was in shock. Their demon was the one in charge of the entire village's security and defense. Isn't that right, Tsunade-sama? Danzo smiled at Tsunade. Tsunade gritted her teeth and nodded. She had no other choice right now, the spotlight was on her. That demon is our captain. A fellow Anbu shouted from the crowd. Danzo nodded. He has been watching you all, monitoring your every movement, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Naruto growled. He was already hating the man. There was nothing else to hate about him. He stared straight at the tiny man. When I get out of here, Danzo, mark my words, I'm going to make you regret the day you ever took your first breath of air. Naruto tried to break away but failed when more Anbu jumped onto the platform and restrained him. See the threat he just made. It shows that he is no longer stable to be your protector, your so-called Anbu captain. The crowd started yelling and spitting at Naruto. Tsunade saw enough of this. Stop this now, she shouted. We all have secrets. Naruto's secret is something more. Danzo interrupted her. I say it's time we abandon the third silly law. We have nothing to hide anymore. What do you judges say? Most of them nodded their head, which left Tsunade speechless. Stop. The third may be dead, but we do not disobey a man's last wish. Have you no honor? Jiraiya appeared in front of Danzo, staring him down, daring him to continue. The Anbu holding Naruto back tensed up as Jiraiya turned his attention to them. Release my apprentice now or you'll go through me. The Anbu reluctantly released Naruto. Thanks Arrow Sennin. Naruto dusted himself off. Danzo frowned at the turn of events. What can I do for you Jiraiya-sama? Jiraiya stared at the man. This man was so despicable on so many levels. That law is not to be broken. It is meant to be kept with our generation and is to die with our generation. Why don't we just ask the crowd that? The crowd started shouting and yelling, which caused Danzo to smile. Looks like you just gotten your answer. He turned around and faced the crowd. We the judges of this trial have finalized our answer. We have came to the conclusion that Naruto Uzumaki, the man known as the Silent Storm, the Kyuubi no Yoko will be sentenced to death for his crimes of attempted murder of one Sasuke Uchiha, and the death and destruction of Konoha Hospital. The crowd started cheering. Silence. This trial isn't over. Are there anyone who's willing to testify on Naruto's behalf? Jiraiya yelled over to the crowd. Everyone quieted down once again. He waited for someone to speak up. Come on. Aren't you his friends? Jiraiya growled. This was unbelievable. No one stepped forward to help. Naruto was scanning the crowd looking for his friends. He saw them spread out. Ino and Sakura gave him a dirty look, which he can figure what they were mad about. Shino stood there with his shades on, showing no emotion whatsoever. Shikamaru wasn't there, but a shocked Shoji stopped eating. Kiba and Lee were looking at him with shocked expressions on their faces. Neji was holding Hinata back, stopping her from running away. The friends that he had were standing there, like they were frozen in ice. Jiraiya stood there, waiting for anyone to speak up. When no one spoke up, he sighed. He turned around and walked past Naruto, who was still in shock. What are you guys doing? Aren't you guys my friends? Naruto yelled out. He looked each one of them in the eye. You lied to us, Naruto. You lied to us about being the Anbu captain and being the Kyuubi no Yoko. Kiba yelled back. You're nothing but a liar, Naruto. You even tried to Sasuke and you're the Kyuubi as well. I thought I could trust you, but now. Sakura yelled out. He stared at them a straight face, deprived of all emotions. I thought you guys were my friends. He started shaking his head. I must have been living in a dream all this time. Go to hell, demon. He looked to his right, to see a familiar face. It was Eagle trying to lunge forward but Tiger holding her back. I knew you were a bloody demon when you slaughtered all those people. The crowd started chanting, death to the demon. Naruto started to back away, fearing for the worst. Tsunade walked up to him and placed an hand on his shoulder. She faced the crowd. The trial is over. She took a deep breath before continuing. The council's decision is. Naruto stood there with his eyes closed. If Tsunade was going to do something, it better be now. Death. Naruto opened his eyes in shock. Death. The word echoed through his mind. He looked at the person who he could have called an older sister or a motherly figure. She started walking away but took a quick look at Naruto, who was quickly surrounded with Anbu. What? Tsunade-sama. He glared straight at her with his icy blue eyes. She quickly walked back to her seat and sat down. Naruto looked around, surrounded by the very team that he was in charge of. Looks like we'll have a new captain soon. Ferret said mockingly. The others just laughed. Naruto growled. You're nothing but maggots compared to me. You guys don't even deserve the title of Anbu. Get him. Danzo ordered. The Anbu dog piled Naruto, covering him down. Naruto heard footsteps approaching him, getting closer and closer as each second passed. He looked up and saw Eagle standing in front of him with a sword. This is for the hell you put me through. She kicked him in the face, causing him to bleed from the lip. Hold him up. Her fellow Anbu held him up, in front of the crowd. Eagle started twirling the sword, just to entertain the crowd with her sword skills before stopping in front of Naruto. Anything you want to say, demon? Naruto smiled sadly. Friends are a figment of imagination. I should have known better than to live in an imaginary world. He shook his head in disappointment. He looked at Eagle. And you, Eagle, are still a weak piece of shit that shouldn't have passed the exam. Eagle gritted her teeth and struck him with the sword, impaling him through the stomach. She yanked the sword out and watched blood spray all over the place. Naruto ignored the pain and started laughing. I swear to God that even if I have to go through hell and back, I will come back in you all. He glared straight at the crowd before turning his head to the judges. They all shuddered. Those were the coldest blue eyes they ever seen. Die, demon. As Eagle brought the sword down to strike his head, Naruto unleashed everything. He released the power that he was holding back, the power of Kyuubi in himself, the power of one. Red chakra bombarded the area, blowing everyone away. His wounds started healing at a rapid rate. He walked up to the judges. You wanted to see a real demon. Well, you got one right in front of you. Naruto released even more chakra, blowing the desk away. It was an understatement to say that they were scared shitless, but they turned pale, even in Hiyashi's case. Several Anbu tackled Naruto away from the elders, trying to protect them. Naruto laughed as he saw the pitiful attempt. Die. With a quick swipe of his chakra, the Anbu were shredded into pieces. Koharu turned around to see Jiraiya just standing there. Jiraiya-sama, oh thank God you're still here. She immediately bowed to him. You have to stop him, Jiraiya-sama. Jiraiya laughed. You expect me to help you after the way you treated him? Die by your own mistakes, you old farts. You will not be dragging me down with your pitiful choices. She was shocked as she watched him walk past Naruto without doing anything. Naruto turned his attention to the judges, approaching them slowly. The chakra blowing everything away. Before he took another step, he was hit with a Gatsuga. Naruto gritted his teeth, ignoring the pain. Kiba. As Naruto staggered back, he heard a familiar voice. You are within the range of my divination. Naruto turned around, only to find Neji in his stance. Hake Hyaku Nuhachi Sho. As Neji attempted to strike, Naruto smirked. He caught Neji's wrist and kneed him in the stomach. Is this demon enough for you? He flipped Neji over and threw him towards Hiyashi. Naruto flipped through some hand seals with ease and whispered. Futon. Daitapa. Winds of great magnitude blew everything and everyone away. Naruto walked past Tsunade and looked at her for a split second before running away. Hiyashi staggered back up to his feet. He watched as Naruto leapt away. Everyone after the demon. All able bodies began to pursue him. Tsunade stood there, recalling the events that just took place. Naruto kept running, trying to create as much distance as he can between his pursuers and himself. He felt his heart beating faster and faster. He couldn't believe what just happened. He wasn't stopping for anything, not anymore. There was nothing left for him here. The only thing he had left in this village was his execution date, and he was sure as hell that it was one date he will not be keeping. Naruto looked over his shoulders while he was running away. He could make out maybe 5 or 6 ninjas currently hot on his trail. He frowned. He had done those fools a favor by running away and noting their remaining ninjas, but yet they still send them to chase after him. The council must be stupid for sending these young ninjas to their deaths. His battle did not concern these ninjas. It was with the people who sentenced him to death that he had an issue with. Them and only them. Naruto increased his chakra output, causing him to gain a burst of speed, leaving his pursuers in his dust. Naruto leapt from a tree branch, easily clearing 3 buildings and landing on a wide open rooftop before disappearing. As the ninjas reached the point where Naruto disappeared, they looked around, trying to figure out what just happened. Kiba-san, where did he go? Kiba stuck his nose up into the air and sniffed, trying to find the right scent. He let out a low growl. He wasn't known as Konoha's best tracker for nothing. He once caught the scent of a missing ninja that was 100 feet away. If he could do that, why couldn't he smell Naruto's scent? It should be easy for someone like him. Split up. He's covering his scent somehow. Kiba barked out several orders, sending the men to search the four corners of the village. Kiba smirked. Let's see if you can hide now, you coward. He stood on the rooftop, surveying the surrounding area for any changes. A gust of wind blew towards Kiba, causing him to shiver against the cold breeze. Why do you resent me, Kiba? A hollow voice whispered into the wind, causing Kiba to turn around. To his surprise, he found no one there. His eyes told him no one was there, but his instinct was screaming danger. He turned back around and met face to face with an old friend. What did I ever do to you? Kiba stepped back, surprised by the sudden appearance of the ex-captain. Naruto. This was the man who was known as the Anbu captain, the man who the other villages marked as the Silent Storm. Did I ever hurt you? Naruto stepped forward, trying to find some answers. Stay back, demon. Kiba quickly regained his focus and threw a kunai towards Naruto. Naruto stood there, motionless as the kunai came towards his face. With a quick swipe, the kunai was split into two. Kiba's eyes widened. The kunai was forged from the hardest metal. There was no way chakra could have done that. He noticed that Naruto's right hand was folded up, like it was gripping something. Consider this a warning. If you follow me again, I will dispose of you and everyone else who stands in my way. Naruto stared at Kiba with his cold, empty eyes. There was nothing left. Naruto could see the anger and fear in Kiba's eyes. Everyone has turned against him. The entire village was against him. Was there truly no one left in this village that believed him? Naruto felt his heart breaking as these thoughts occupied his head. Kiba. Naruto heard someone shouting Kiba's name and jumped away in time to avoid an incoming kick. Lee, Neji. Naruto said their names slowly as he landed away from the trio. It would seem like reinforcement has arrived. Naruto felt his lips changing into a slight frown. Their timing couldn't be any worse. Turn yourself in, Uzumaki. Neji stepped forward, determined to bring Naruto back to justice. Naruto's eyebrows rose. Do you believe their lies? Do yo? Demons have no right to speak about lies. Neji barked out. Naruto found that comment amusing. His scenes went crazy when he saw Lee disappear in front of him. He saw a kick coming from his left side. Naruto raised his arm to guard. Lee threw a hard left kick but was surprised to see Naruto already in position to counter. Naruto caught hold of Lee's kick and threw him to the ground. He quickly put his right hand over his throat. Move one step and you will be visiting Lee annually at a graveyard. Kiba was about to step forward when Neji stopped him. Don't. He's holding a blade somewhat near Lee's throat. Naruto saw Neji with his Byakugan activated. This was an interesting turn of events. Neji was able to distinguish his weapon now. Naruto moved his hand slightly, causing Lee to wince at the pain caused by the invisible blade. Smart move, Neji. Naruto looked straight into the Hyuga's eyes. I will say this once more. If you come after me, Konoha will have 3 more deaths to mourn for. Naruto made his point clearly by causing some blood to leak out from Lee's throat. You won't get away with this, Uzumaki. You have nowhere to run. The Hyuga prodigy pointed out. They had the upper hand here. Naruto laughed. It wasn't a warm laugh. It was a cold, empty laugh. The laugh of someone who didn't care anymore. Listen to yourself. Do you think you won because I'm trapped here? I'm not known as the Silent Storm for nothing, Neji. Neji glanced at him. Just a few more seconds. He had to keep Naruto's attention focused on him while he brought Lee some more time. Luckily for them, Naruto didn't notice Lee's hand movements, which was slowly reaching for the kunai pouch. In a few moments they would be able to apprehend the demon. Make this easy on yourself, Uzumaki. Maybe the council will spare your life. Naruto shook his head. The council members are fools. The people in the entire village are fools. I was an even bigger fool for trusting you guys. Friends, what a useless word. Neji saw the moment of opportunity. Naruto was preoccupied with his speech to be paying attention to his hostage. Big mistake. Now Lee quickly knocked away Naruto's right hand and with lightning-fast motion, he quickly rammed the kunai into Naruto's chest, just barely missing the heart. Lee pushed the kunai in, making sure it was going in. Naruto staggered back, taken by surprise from Lee's actions. Lee stood up, wiping the blood off from his throat. You lose, Naruto. I'm sorry, but this is for the greater good of the village. He stood there alongside Kiba and Neji, who just looked on. Naruto clutched his wounds, with a shocked expression on his face. Neji stepped forward. It didn't have to be this way, Uzumaki. Naruto staggered forward, swaying from side to side. He finally collapsed to the floor, just in front of Neji's feet. The group slowly approached the body, making sure it wasn't a trap. As soon as Neji's hand approached the body, a hand suddenly jerked up and grabbed his wrist. Neji was taken by surprise. He tried to shake it loose but found the grip unbreakable. What the hell? Neji performed a simple karate chop on Naruto's hand, but the man did not let go. What's the matter? Stuck. The head turned, revealing a smirking Naruto. Everyone's eyes widened, shocked to see the man still able to move. By the way, Naruto says boom. Neji's eyes widened as he saw the Naruto in front of him building up chakra. Run! He shouted out an evacuation order to his teammates, but it was already too late. The Naruto that was holding onto Neji's wrist exploded, causing a major explosion that rocked the area, causing damage all over the village. In a different part of the village, Naruto received the updated information from his clone. It seemed like they played right into his hands, those fools. If they only had taken his warning, maybe they would have lived. Naruto looked behind him. This was the last place they would expect him to be. Naruto took a step into a grassy area, a place where legends were built on. Legends that shape their daily lives, events that defy explanation. Individuals here whose lives soar up to the heavens or fall to the earth. This is the place where legends are born. He stepped up to a familiar stone, a place where he spent the last 5 months visiting when his nightmares became unbearable, his one place where his soul was finally at peace. He touched the stone and sighed. Hello, Iruka-sensei. Sakura and her medic team immediately rushed to the area where the large explosion just occurred. When she got there, the sight before her shattered her imagination. This was something that defied all reasoning. Whatever happened here was unbelievable. Instead of the usual block of apartment buildings and stores, it was now a big crater, filled with nothing but rocks and overturned dirt. Ino raised her hand to cover her mouth, unable to believe the events that happened here. Oh my god, Sakura, her best friend called out, snapping Sakura back to reality. Sakura quickly got her act together. Every minute meant losing lives. Everyone quickly search the area and find me some survivors. Now, the entire medic team spread out, searching for whatever survivors that may still be here. Ino walked up to Sakura, still shocked from the events. Dear Lord Sakura, what do you think happened here? Sakura shook her head, praying that there were still some survivors alive under the mess. I only have a couple of guesses. It's been a while, Iruka-sensei, Naruto's voice showing some emotion. I'm sorry that I haven't visited in a while. He touched the spot where Iruka's name was engraved onto. Things have been a bit hectic around here. Naruto chuckled to himself. Things weren't even hectic. Hectic was just a nice way of putting it. Things were thrown upside down and then rearranged beyond recognition. It was just a disaster. Maybe if you were here, things could have been different. Just maybe if I were a little stronger, you would have been alive. Maybe if. Naruto's voice started to crack, tears starting to form in his eyes. Maybe if it was me, then this village would have been better off. He fell down to his knees, letting his tears hit the soft earth, the place where he considered his home for the last 20 years. His mind drifted back to the man who he considered family, his older brother. He remembered the day like it was yesterday, the day when his older brother died. Only a few people have tried to talk to him about it, but it didn't work. Naruto was always busy, occupying himself with work so his mind wouldn't think back the event. It was hard, but he always managed to get through life. This was the way he lived it, the only path that was open to him. A breeze of wind blew through the area, carrying some leaves along with it. A faint sound emerged from the winds, almost like it was trying to say something. Naruto picked his head up, responding to that voice. The voice sounded so familiar yet so far away. It was the voice of someone that he hadn't heard in a long time. Aniki. His eyes looked up, trying to find the person he missed most. He lowered his head in disappointment when he saw no one. I'm sorry I couldn't be the person you wanted me to be. I'm sorry for everything. Naruto continued to cry, oblivious to the person walking up behind him. Naruto. Naruto suddenly jumped up, surprising the person behind him. Naruto found his hands at the man's throat, inches away from crushing the man's windpipes. He was shocked that someone had disturbed him while he was in his special place. The one place where he considered himself safe. His face turned from shock to surprise. Kakashi, sensei. Naruto finally realized who the man was. The white-haired man that stood before Naruto, the great copy ninja Sharingan Kakashi. Kakashi did the only thing that he could for Naruto. The man hugged him. For the first time since Iruka's death, Naruto never had another hug from someone who has felt the same pain as him. Naruto felt all his mental barriers failing, the emotions that he held back since his death came rushing to the surface. Naruto cried on the man's shoulder, letting out his pain that he was carrying on his shoulders for the past few years. It's okay, Naruto, it's going to be okay. This was the man who the village labeled as a demon, the bloodthirstier that was better off dead. If only they got past their ridiculous pride, they would see a suffering human being, a man who was innocent of all crimes, a man who was carrying a huge burden on his shoulders. Naruto cried for a good few minutes before drying his tears. He let go of his sensei, just wondering why the man was here. What are you doing here, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto felt something inside him, a feeling that he hasn't felt for a long time, the bond between student and teacher. He felt himself transported back to his genin days, when they were only student and teacher, not a demon that was being hunted down by the village's ninja. Are you here to me? Naruto stood there, waiting for the man's answer. No, this place does not need any more bloodshed. This is a place for the fallen, not a place for blood. Besides, I always come here to speak to Obito as well. Naruto lowered his head, feeling at ease for the moment. The two stood there for a moment, enjoying the silence. Kakashi caught scent of something in the air, it was the scent of metal. Naruto, you should get out of here. Ninjas are coming. Naruto nodded his head. He looked at the hero's memorial stone one last time. This is goodbye forever, Iruka Nichin. Naruto turned around, disappearing into the wind. Kakashi smiled under his mask. If the events turned out differently, that boy would have become the best Hokage this village ever had. Kakashi-san. A loud voice knocked Kakashi out of his own thoughts. Kakashi turned around, wondering who else could be here. When he turned around, he saw a group of Chunins with their kunais out. Did the demon come over here? Kakashi sighed before walking over to them. So they sent Chunins as well. The leader of the pack, a big Chunin, nodded. The Chunins quickly scanned the area for any signs of Naruto. They have also sent out several Anbu units as well. All able ninjas are to regroup and gather by the front gate. So did the demon come this way? Kakashi tilted his head, his eyes showing some amusement. With a quick left hand, the big Chunin went down. Aware of what just happened, the remaining Chunins backed away. What are you doing, Kakashi-san? Kakashi blurred out of sight and proceeded to knock out the rest of the team. I can't allow you guys to do this. I'm sorry. The medic team had been digging for the past 10 minutes, trying to uncover something. So far, it was just rubble after rubble. Sakura-san, I found something. Sakura quickly moved towards the man, hoping that he had found something useful. As a field medic, you have to be prepared for everything that was to come, but this was one thing that Sakura wasn't prepared for. When she got there, her eyes widened, her hands quickly covering her mouth, unable to speak. Ino saw Sakura's shocked look. She walked over there to see what happened. Ino went into shock as well, unable to believe that this was happening. The medic team uncovered the body of a well-known ninja, a very familiar one. Kiba. Ino and Sakura both shouted. Kiba was no longer the man he once was. He had burns all over his body and his body was badly bruised. If it wasn't for his armor, he would have probably been in worse condition. Sakura quickly searched for a pulse. Come on, Kiba. Don't die on me here. She found a pulse, but it was low, very low. Her face paled. Kiba might not make it. Everyone over here. Emergency protocol now. All available medics began to perform the Shozen no Jutsu. They had to operate on Kiba now or else he wouldn't make it. Ino backed away, until she tripped on something. She looked down and saw that she tripped over a bloody hand. She quickly screamed, drawing everyone's attention. I found someone else. Ino quickly cleared the rubble, revealing Lee and Neji in the same condition, if not worse. They both sported burns all over their face and body parts. Ino quickly searched for a pulse and felt her heart beating faster and faster as she tried to locate different pulse positions. They're still alive, she shouted, drawing Sakura's attention. Their pulse was low, which meant their condition was in a critical state. Sakura left the rest of the team to work on Kiba while she went to work on the other two. Ino stared at the battered bodies of Lee and Neji. Could Naruto have done this much damage? Sakura put her hands above Neji's heart, her hands turning green, which meant the healing jutsu was starting. It had to be Naruto. Why else would they be like this, Ino? Sakura snapped at her, not really caring for anything else at the moment except for saving their lives. Ino quickly got the picture and went to work on saving Lee. Tsunade looked at the mess that stood before her. The impractical stuff like tables and chairs were overturned and people were all over the streets. Lucky for them, Naruto only blew them away with winds and not with anything else. She was lucky that no one was critically injured, except for those Anbu who was stupid enough to get in his way. She was quickly approached by the elders, who each had a stern look on their face. Tsunade, did you see what that demon did? We have to quickly assemble our forces at the front gate. He will surely try to leave the village that way. Koharu immediately pointed out. The demon was already loose inside the village, there was no telling what could happen. Don't worry. My root unit is already on the job, pursuing the demon as we speak. Danzo smirked. Pretty soon Tsunade will have no choice but to resign and then it would be his time to shine. The third Hokage was a fool to let that boy live. He lost count of the number of times he had confronted the third about executing the boy but was merely turned away, stating that the demon was no harm to the village. He silently laughed at the third, almost wishing he was alive to see this day. Tsunade looked around, looking for a particular person. Damn it, Jiraiya, where did you go? If only Jiraiya was here, maybe he could talk some sense into these old farts. She continued to look around, no sign of her old teammate anywhere. Tsunade, we're ordering all our forces to stand guard in front of the village gate. Homura spoke up, catching Tsunade's attention. Gather everyone and go, she half-heartedly shouted out. She watched as the elders disappeared, with ninjas slowly getting up and following them. Shizune appeared next to Tsunade, standing by her side. Do you think he's going to be okay? Shizune quietly asked. For his sake, he better be. Tsunade felt her knees giving out and was about to collapse until Shizune caught her, providing support to help her to her feet. Oh Tsunade-sama, she helped her mentor up and the two of them slowly approached the front gate. The village of Konoha, one of the greatest hidden villages to ever exist, was in turmoil. Destruction and death was reeking from the great village. Both villagers and ninjas alike were running in fear that the great demon, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, was released. The very beast that their yondaime gave his life to seal away. Naruto quickly ran towards the front gate. If he can exit the village in one piece, then he would be safe. No ninjas would dare to follow him into the openness. No one would expect him to just waltz out from the village using the front gate. He was pretty sure the walls were being watched. Naruto leapt off from another building, forgetting stealth and just quickly using his speed to leave the village. Naruto caught another chakra signal, wait, not one but a few chakra signals approaching quickly from behind. He decided not to fight but to escape as soon as possible. He saw a blur appear next to him before spearing him into a nearby building, sending him through several walls before landing on the grounds of an alleyway. He cursed his luck. He was about 300 yards away from the gate and he was caught. Naruto looked up and saw the person who tackled him. Sasuke. Sasuke stood there, staring Naruto down. Get up, Naruto. He just tackled Naruto through a couple of walls, it couldn't have hurt him that much. Get out of my way, Tem, Naruto growled. Or I'll go through you. Naruto slowly got up, easily matching Sasuke's height. Several Junins appeared next to Naruto, surrounding him completely. The Junins cracked their knuckles, anticipating that a fight would come. You can't beat all of us, Naruto. Sasuke spoke up, making a clear point. Naruto looked around. Chances of escape were low and he knew that. All those missions had given him the skill to analyze his environment carefully. That wasn't the only thing missions taught him. They also taught him survival skills. When plans don't work, which was 80% of the time, improvise and execute. Sasuke saw Naruto's hand twitched and quickly unsheathed the Kusanagi. He disappeared and reappeared next to Naruto's right side, trying to catch him off guard. Naruto quickly blocked with his kunai. Metal against metal, both sides struggling for dominate control. Naruto matched Sasuke's strength with his own, with both sides not giving up. The other Junins quickly jumped in, trying to lend support to Sasuke. Several Junins proceed to make some hand seals before performing their jutsus. Sasuke saw the humongous fire dragon coming towards him and quickly jumped out of the way. Naruto saw it coming as well and leapt up, only to be greeted by a drop heel kick from another Junin. Naruto knew he was surrounded, there was no way out. He kept dodging the series of punches and kicks from the Junins. While Naruto was busy dodging the Junins, he kept one eye trained on Sasuke, who was the most dangerous out of all of them. Sasuke continually went in and out with a series of punches, trying to throw off Naruto's rhythm. He couldn't keep this up much longer. Naruto found himself backed into a corner, with no chance of running. It's over for you now, Naruto. He saw Sasuke above him, coming straight down with the Kusanagi aiming for a vertical slash. Naruto gritted his teeth. There wasn't much to do, his options were limited to just a few now. Sasuke quickly came down on Naruto but was surprised when he saw Naruto blocked his attack. Sasuke's narrowed his eyes when he saw Naruto intercepting the attack with his own hands. Always so pathetic, Sasuke Tem. Naruto quick yanked the sword towards him and mustered all the strength he had left and punched Sasuke in the jaw, sending him to the ground. Sasuke went down hard, unable to get back up. Naruto smirked. That felt so good. He was pretty sure he had broken Sasuke's jaw. It didn't matter. It was payback and this was a great feeling. The other Junins growled quietly, clearly expressing their anger. Naruto noticed their slow movements. You call yourself protectors of this village. You can't even take on one lousy guy. You are a disgrace to this village. He taunted them, buying himself some more time. Oh, we'll protect something, alright. We'll protect the village from the likes of you demon scum. The closest Junin spat out. They approached him slowly, which Naruto hated. If they ran at him all at once, he could have taken them all in one, but they were playing it safe. The slower they walked, the more they were alert to Naruto's actions. The group of Junins suddenly all ran towards him, with their weapons held out too. Naruto braced himself for the attack. If he could endure this attack, then he was free to counter. All he had to do was survive this attack. It was easier said than done when you're faced with a group of Junins. Naruto felt time slowing down, his heart rate beating faster and faster. He cursed himself for wasting too much chakra from his earlier escape. He felt the chakra usage taking a toll on his body. Is this the end? He repeated the question in his mind. No. His mind kept screaming the answer, forbidding himself from giving up. He can't give up. They would win if he gave up now. He saw his attackers slowly reaching him, weapons out and ready to. In a split second, everyone froze, unable to comprehend what happened. One moment, they were rushing towards the demon, and the next, their fellow comrade dropped dead on the floor. Naruto's eyes widened. He didn't do this. Someone else did. He saw a hint of silver before the man dropped dead. His mind quickly formulated a plan. Go ahead. Take another step. Naruto dared the men to step forward. His voice was cold, like a person who has nothing to lose but everything to gain. The men hesitated, unsure of what to do. It took just a second to see their hesitation, but it was just the opportunity that Naruto needed. He focused some chakra into his right hand, summoning his wind blade. It felt like second nature to summon it, but he still winced at the pain. He dashed forward, his hand aimed to. Within moments, he'd three and left one critically injured. He turned his head to the one that was still alive. Looks like I missed. He pointed his sword forward, aiming straight at the wound he inflicted upon the man. Pressing it lightly, the man squirmed against the pain. You probably think of me as a demon. Wait, no, you do think that I'm the Kyuubi, but after the events today, I would say that you guys are the ones who should be considered demons. Naruto dispelled the sword. The man looked like he didn't have much fight left in him. He leaned over to inspect the man. You look like a decent man. How would you like to bargain for your life? Naruto took a deep breath. He felt his body screaming in pain, yearning for a break. That bastard fox decided to cut off all connections with him at this critical time. Just great. The man whispered something, but Naruto couldn't make it out. He asked again. What's that? I can't hear you. The man took a deep breath, finding his voice to answer Naruto. I said my name is Taiyu Mashino. The man grunted, feeling the pain. Well, Taiyu-san, if you would kindly tell Tsunade and all her forces to back off, I will leave this village in peace. The man named Taiyu laughed. You leave this village in peace. Demons like you don't know the meaning of peace. He spat some blood in Naruto's face. Naruto wiped the blood off his face. Do a little nice thing. Naruto slowly lowered his hand. And this is what you get. Naruto forcefully hit the man's wounded area, causing Taiyu to groan in pain. Now, will you do it or not? Taiyu continued to laugh. Never. I might not live to see the day you die, but I know one thing. I'll see you in hell. The man took his last breath before passing out. Naruto sighed. Things weren't exactly turning out the way he wanted. He looked at the dead man. So prideful yet so stupid. They were like sheep being led around by a shepherd, not questioning why to do this or that. People are by nature manipulative and only work for themselves. This was a lesson that he learned the hard way. As Naruto slowly got up, he felt a great amount of pain erupt from his body. He saw blood coming out from chest. He turned around and saw Taiyu standing there, clutching his wound with one hand and the other one thrusting the kunai into his chest. Taiyu laughed. I told you I would see you in hell. Now burn, demon. Naruto gritted his teeth, trying to ignore the pain. He quickly pulled away from Taiyu and yanked the kunai out. He immediately shoved the kunai into Taiyu's throat, ing him instantly. Naruto collapsed on the ground, trying to form the hand seals for a medical jutsu. He chuckled to himself. It was ironic. He never thought there would be a day he would need to use it on himself. Damn the fox. As Naruto painfully finished the hand seal and began healing, he felt another presence in the alleyway. He scanned the area without interrupting his healing process. I know you're there. Show yourself. Naruto had to buy himself some more time. He needed to heal the wound in his right hand so at least he could have a fighting chance. Naruto Uzumaki, the mysterious voice quietly whispered into the area, echoing all around. Naruto looked around, trying to recognize the voice. He heard the sounds of a cloak flapping in the wind on his right. He was in for a shock when he recognized the symbols on that dark cloak. Akatsuki, Naruto growled. He moved his left hand over to his right hand, trying to heal it. He was in for another surprise when he recognized the face. Uchiha, Itachi, the S-rank missing nin stepped out from the shadows, with a stoic face on. Naruto cursed his luck. Of all the bloody people that it could have been, it had to be him. After the hell he just went through, there was no way he can walk away alive from an Akatsuki member. What do you want, Itachi? Itachi slowly formed a smirk on his face as he looked at the mess that laid before him. It looks like that the great Uzumaki is critically injured. There's a big bounty on your head. Did you know that, Naruto-kun? Naruto started to scoot back, increasing the distance between him and Itachi. Itachi's smirk slowly reverted back into his stoic face. He drew a blade from underneath his cloak. Naruto stared at the man who was responsible for single-handedly wiping out the Uchiha clan in one night, Uchiha Itachi. Itachi approached the ex-captain slowly, showing the blade in its full glory. If you're here to me, Itachi, then wait in line. I got a whole list to go through before you get your turn. Naruto had one eye trained on Itachi while the other one was looking after the healing procedure. Just a few more minutes, he told himself. A few more minutes and he can at least have a chance to fight back. Itachi raised his sword and dashed forward. Shit. Naruto saw Itachi running forward and he was backed into a corner. Naruto did the only thing that he could do, and that was to raise his arms to block the incoming attack and pray. He waited for the attack but felt nothing. He knew Itachi should have reached him by now, but where was the blood and pain? Naruto slowly lowered his arms and looked around. He saw Itachi standing in front of him, holding a sword soaked in blood. He checked his body. It wasn't his blood, and Itachi surely wasn't stupid enough to stab himself. He heard a thud behind him and turned around. A body dropped to the floor. Naruto turned around, surprised to see that there was a person hidden there. He then realized that he missed the man due to a genjutsu placed on the area. Naruto slowly picked himself up, steadily leaning against the wall, watching the missing nin as he slowly put the sword away. I should you for just being here, Itachi. Itachi let out a small chuckle. Do you really think that if you me here, Naruto-kun, they would take you back? Itachi pointed his fingers outside the alleyway, at the scene of several villagers currently running to safety. Why would you go back to a village where they hate you and scorn you like a plague? There is much you don't know about Konoha, Naruto-kun. I came here to offer you a deal. A deal? What kind of deal? Naruto's interest was piqued. There wasn't any other options left open that he could take. We would like it if you would join our ranks, Naruto-kun. Naruto shook his head. No way. You guys are wanted for a reason. I will not join the likes of you. Itachi sported a curious look on his face, well as curious as his face would get. Please enlighten me as to what those reasons might be. For one thing, you guys murder in cold blood for power with no regard to anything or anyone as long as you get it. Naruto hastily answered. Itachi laughed. You have become a naive man, Naruto-kun. Itachi then pondered on another option. How about this then? Follow me outside the village and hear the real truth about the village before deciding if you want to join us or not. There had to be a catch. There is always a catch. Naruto smirked. And if I decide not to? Itachi shrugged. You can walk away free, and then the next time we meet, we will be as enemies and not allies. Naruto thought about this offer. He had nothing to lose but a lot to gain. Fine. Naruto held out his hand to seal the deal. Itachi looked at Naruto's gesture strangely before putting out his own hand. Naruto grabbed it and shook. So let's leave. Itachi shook his head. The deal was that you had to get out. I won't help you. If you can't get out of here alive, then you don't deserve to know. With that said, Itachi stepped back into the shadows and disappeared. Naruto dropped his jaw a little. He was taken like a damn it, Itachi. He quietly cursed the Uchiha. The next time he sees him, he's going to strangle the damn guy. Naruto formed his hands into a basic seal and hanged into a fellow leaf chunin. No one would recognize chunins. They were too low below the power chain to be recognized. He slowly shushin out of the alleyway and into the rooftop, quickly joining his fellow chunins. He smiled to himself. This wasn't the best plan, but all he needed is to conserve his chakra and reach the gate. He was joined up with a team of chunins who was also making haste to the gate. Naruto looked over and made eye contact with them. He slowly joined their formation, hoping to blend in. Did you find the demon? A fellow chunin asked. Naruto shook his head. No, the bastard ran away before I could track him. Naruto replied with an angry tone. The first step in blending in with the enemy is to be like them. Don't give them too much information and don't act too much into your part. Just be average and observe how others respond. Don't worry. We'll get him in the front gate. Everyone's there, even the Hokage. Naruto's eyes widened. He did not just hear that. The plan just got more complicated. There was no way that he could hide from Tsunade. Maybe she wouldn't notice and he can slip behind them. Naruto laughed to himself. Like Tsunade won't notice. She was the one who condemned him to this in the first place. What's your name? A chunin asked, kicking Naruto out of his own thoughts. Taiyu Mashino. He quickly used the name of the dead man that he justed. Great to have you on board, Taiyu-san. Naruto quickly nodded as the group made haste to the front gate. Tsunade-sama. Our forces are all here. And Anbu walked up next to her. Good job. Tsunade nodded her head and quickly scanned the area, waiting for Naruto. Within the next few moments, ninjas of all ranks, chunins, junins and Anbu came gathering by the front gate. It was the largest assembly of ninjas ever since the Third Shinobi War. Let's see if the demon can get through us all. A Junin sneered. The rest of them joined in and laughed. Danzo stepped forward and raised a hand, signaling everyone to be quiet. We will deploy the forces into two groups, the front assault, the ambush team. Danzo pointed to the location of where the ambush team should go hide and wait for his signal while the front assault team will hold their positions. Tsunade shook her head, feeling her heart crumbling as she watched her power slip from her grasps. She then saw a group of Chunins quickly coming towards them. When they arrived, they greeted their Hokage. Greetings Hokage-sama. Tsunade half-heartedly responded and pointed them to be the front assault team. Naruto surveyed the area. There were less ninjas than he expected. You there. Naruto turned around and was met face to face with Danzo. I want you over there now. Yes sir. Naruto spoke up in an alert yet boring voice, showing to the man that he was just a new Chunin. Just a little longer, Naruto kept telling himself. Danzo was right in front of him but he can't him just yet. No, he was going to make that man suffer a thousand's death over before he died. Naruto found his mind going back to his little discussion with Itachi. The enemies will do anything to save themselves, even if it means forming false alliances. That was the first rule he learned while training for Anbu. Never believe anything the enemy has to say. Always look underneath the underneath. Kakashi's voice echoed through his head. What if Itachi's logic proved true? Naruto slowly shook himself out of his thoughts. The time to act is now, while the enemy is still mobilizing. Naruto casually slipped behind the front line, making his way to the back. Hey Taiyu-san, where you running off to? Naruto froze in his steps. Damn the insolent Chunin. Naruto turned around and casually rubbed his head, acting like what a normal Chunin would do if he got caught. They told me to stand in the back. Go figure. He shrugged and continued to move. As he prepared to move back, he felt someone holding on to his wrist. Hold on there, Homura said as he grabbed his wrist. What did you say your name was? He stared at the Chunin suspiciously. Naruto smiled. Taiyu Mashino. He said it fluently, without hesitation. Any hesitation would immediately allow the enemy to know that you're lying. I see. So how are your wife and kids? The elder must be on to him. He could him here but then he's right in the middle of a war zone. Not a good idea. I'm not married elder-sama. Naruto answered. I like bachelorhood too much to get myself married. He didn't see any signs of a ring on the man's finger before he died so it was a gamble with this answer. Homura nodded. He let go of Naruto's wrist and walked back to Danzo. Naruto stopped at the back and watched the man talk to Danzo. He was careful not to make more eye contact or else it would show that you're guilty. He could see Homura talk casually to Danzo but his instincts were telling him otherwise. He saw Danzo glance at him for a split second before turning away. Shit, my cover might have been blown. Naruto quickly looked around for an escape route. An idea hit him. If he could walk towards the door, he could hinge into something else, something smaller. Naruto started walking away again but decided that this time he would be escaping from the front of the line. Naruto quickly slipped inside a vacant building, buying his time carefully. He performed some basic hand seals and quietly whispered his trademark technique. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. A Naruto clone appeared from the smoke and grinned. Distraction right boss. The real Naruto nodded and pointed to the back door. The clone received the hint and left quickly. Naruto stepped back to the entrance and waited for the signal to come, where his clone will finally make his grand appearance. Look, there's the demon. He heard some shouts coming from the outside, feeling the movements. He quickly shushed outside and joined the chase. Hopefully, he can slip behind their forces and leave. Naruto watched from behind as he saw his clone having everyone chase him around in circles. He slowed down his pace, allowing ninjas to pass him and allowed himself to be near the end. When he saw that he was one of the last ninjas, he stopped in his tracks and turned around. He paid no attention to anything else. He quickly made his way back to the front gate. When Naruto got there, he was in for a shock. There stood most of the Root Anbu unit along with Danzo. Greetings Uzumaki. Danzo coldly greeted to his prey. Naruto released a small growl as his eyes focused themselves on the figure in front of him. Get out of my way, Danzo. As Naruto stared at the man, he could feel his hands begging to be unleashed, wanting nothing more than to tear him apart. Naruto moved around slowly, his feet scuffling against the ground. He didn't want to make too much movement. Too much movement would show that you're afraid. Too little movement would show that you're unable to move, giving the enemy a reason to attack. As he observed his environment, he noticed that there were Root members watching his every movement. Danzo smirked as he saw Naruto's eyes shifting all over the place. Let me tell you something, demon. There is no way that you can escape from this place alive. I suspected that you might pull a trick like this, so I made sure that all possible escape routes were covered. Danzo tapped his cane lightly. There is nowhere else to hide. I will finally do what the third could never do, and that is to you. Naruto felt his body automatically preparing itself for battle. His muscles were beginning to contract against each other, getting itself ready to fight at any given moment. He finally understood what his destiny was. It was no longer to become Hokage of this village, it was bring judgment to people that have done him wrong. He was born and raised to fight, and fighting is something that he will never escape. No matter where he went, this primeval fighting instinct will always be a part of him. He raised his arms and slipped into an unusual fighting stance. I'm leaving this village one way or another, and I'm intending to leave it alive. Danzo turned his smirk into a sadistic smile. Look around you. You are surrounded by my Root. They are the best of the best, far superior than your average Anbu. Without any given warning, every member of Root threw kunais and shurikens towards Naruto. The leader of Root stood there silently, paying close attention to the fight. After a few seconds, he saw the body scarred beyond recognition. He shook his head, disappointed at the ability demonstrated by the Kyuubi. The demon was truly something to be feared. It was rumored to be the strongest of the Bijus. A name truly worth to be among the legends. I thought the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune would have put up a better fight than this. Even though the battle was over, Danzo still felt uneasy. This feels way too easy. Someone of his caliber should not have been this easy, but then again, the man in front of him was impaled by so many weapons, it was impossible for anyone to survive. It was a shame though. If the third had let him take the boy as he wanted, none of this would have happened. There were many issues surrounding Konoha he disagreed on, but there was no use trying to change the past. Instead of mourning over it, there is the future that one can take control of, and now, it would finally be his time to get what he deserved. I told you that I would be leaving this hellhole alive. Danzo stared at the bloody mess standing before him, his eyes shocked. No one could have survived that, but this man was still standing here and communicating with them. The weapons came from every direction, making it impossible for anyone to put up any sort of defense. The only way he could have survived this was if he knew the ultimate defense from the Hyuga. What the hell, are you? He managed to stutter out. Naruto only smiled before disappearing into thin air, leaving the leader of Root even more shocked. I am the Silent Storm. Naruto's voice echoed all around. And I am your worst nightmare. Silence engulfed the area as everyone looked around for all possible hiding locations. Gah! A Root member managed to produce a sound before dropping dead. Pretty soon, the members of his prestigious Root began to drop like flies. Danzo started to panic as he watched helplessly as each of his men dropped one by one to the floor. This cannot be happening. Danzo frantically thought. He was supposed to have the advantage here. His plans could not have any flaws. There was no way he could have miscalculated this. He continued to watch in horror as his entire plan backfire in front of him. Flashes of yellow moved around his soldiers at a fast pace. Within minutes, most of his soldiers were lying on the floor dead. Damn you, demon! Danzo cursed as he continued searching for Naruto. You're probably wondering what's going to happen to you next. Don't worry, I will tell you. The Shinigami is coming. The voice echoed all around, making it impossible to track Naruto down. Why don't you plead for your pitiful life, Danzo? It is not my life that I should be worrying about. Danzo replied calmly. They will be coming back any moment now once they realize that the Naruto they're chasing is a Kage Bushin. A kunai suddenly flew towards Danzo, lodging itself in his left shoulder. He winced from the pain, gritting his teeth to keep himself from screaming. He learned through experience that showing any kind of emotions to the enemy was a sign of weakness. It was something he cannot afford here. Then I guess I better finish this now. Naruto spoke again, his voice deprived of all emotion. Another kunai flew towards Danzo, but this time, it wasn't aimed towards his upper body. The kunai hit Danzo near the leg, severing the tendons on his right ankle. Danzo dropped to the ground, unable to support himself with one leg. Another kunai came flying towards Danzo, cutting the other tendon on his left ankle, leaving the fearless root leader incapable of running away. Just me and get this over with already. The older man yelled. He already lost his arm and his right eye during the Second Shinobi War. He had lost his wife and child during the Kyuubi attack. There was nothing else in his life that he could lose at this point. No, I don't want you dead, yet. Death would be the easy way out. I want you to suffer the pain you caused me. The pain that cannot be healed. Naruto appeared in front of Danzo, finally meeting the man face to face. I told you that I would make you regret. Naruto shoved the kunai in a little further, causing Danzo muffle his cry of agony. Danzo was breathing heavily, barely enduring the pain. I'll get you, demon. I'll get you if that's the last thing I do. Naruto stared at the man, his cold eyes gazing into Danzo's face. I highly doubt that, but for showing me the reality of who I am going to show you an original technique as my going away present. He began performing a series of hand seals at a fast rate. Danzo's eyes widened as he watched Naruto finish with the hand seals. His right hand began to glow brighter than any fire jutsu known to man. Danzo could feel the heat just radiating from Naruto's hand. Demon. He managed to release his final words as he watched Naruto come closer and closer. Sainaru Kaki. Naruto whispered the jutsu's name. Holy Fire. A rare technique that he picked up while on his missions. He found it on a scroll that was meant to be seen by members of this particular clan. How ironic. A demon using a holy technique. The world must be coming to an end. Naruto mentally laughed to himself. Never in a million years did he think that the first person to witness this technique would be Danzo. Consider yourself lucky, Danzo-chan. Naruto added the suffix intentionally. You will be the first to see this technique and you will live to tell about it. Naruto reached out and grabbed Danzo by his neck, smiling at the effects caused by the jutsu. Screams of a man could be heard from all four corners of the village. It was an inhuman scream that was filled with torture. If anyone witnessed what truly happened there, they would have been plagued with nightmares for a lifetime. Never forget, Danzo-chan. Never forget. The words barely registered in Danzo's mind as the man slipped into unconsciousness. Did you hear that scream, Hokage-sama? It sounded almost inhuman. A chunin called out. He shuddered at the scream. It sounded so brutal. Tsunade stopped in her tracks, trying to decipher what she just heard. Then it hit her. She quickly turned around and saw the Naruto that they were chasing disappeared into thin air. Quickly! Everyone turn around now! Tsunade yelled. She concentrated some more chakra on her feet before taking off in the opposite direction, leaving everyone behind. As she leapt between buildings, she had a faint idea of what happened back there. Some fool probably got into a fight with Naruto and he was probably dead, judging from that scream. When Tsunade got back to the front gate, the sight before her made her stomach twist and turn. The stench of blood was so strong that it was overwhelming. If she wasn't a former field medic, she would have vomited from the things she saw in front of him. There were so many ninjas were lying on the ground lifeless. Her eyes immediately took her further down the road, where she instantly recognized the lone figure lying in the middle of the road. Danzo. Tsunade quickly approached the man, noticing that his body was shaking uncontrollably. She shook her head as she turned his body over. As much as she hated this man, she cannot bring herself to let him die. Before all else, she was a medic and a medic's first rule is to always heal people before asking them questions. While a patient is in the hospital, enemy and ally alike are treated the same way. A hospital is meant for treating the wounded, where people can make amends, not create war. She was relieved when she found a pulse still beating from within the man. Her eyes trailed down his battle-worn body, noticing the huge burn scar by his neck. Dear Lord, she muttered to herself. Who could have done such a thing? She examined his neck. Those burns were serious and it will definitively serve as reminder for the rest of his life. Hokage-sama, come take a look at this. Tsunade turned her attention to the person calling her. She walked over to the fallen ninja. May his soul rest in peace. She lowered her head, giving herself a moment of silence to pay her respects to the fallen. These wounds, Hokage-sama, they were all done to the throat. Poor guys, they were probably dead before they even knew it. Very precise work too. Tsunade took a closer look at the ninja's fatal wound. The person who inflicted the wounds obviously had skill. She looked around at the other ninjas, noticing a pattern here. All the people that died here were root members and Danzo himself was lying here as well. She looked towards the unconscious man. Not even you deserve this. She started walking away, thinking back to the damage done by this single person. She now knew who could have possibly done this and it was too painful to admit it. There was only one man who could have caused this much chaos, one man who had the power to become the next Hokage, but fate intervened and denied him that right. Naruto Uzumaki, what have you done? Hokage-sama, we spotted the demon up ahead and will proceed to give chase. An Anbu appeared besides her, waiting for her orders. Tsunade shook her head. Cancel that order. This wasn't a favorable situation for them. If word got out that one of Konoha's own ninja crippled the village, it would hurt their reputation as well as inviting other villages to attack them in their already weakened state. Have everyone regroup. Bring everyone that you could find to the hospital. If they are still breathing, I want them there now. Tsunade barked out, trying to salvage whatever hope was left. Naruto pasted the front gate, stopping to acknowledge the beauty and history behind it. He remembered this gate well. This was where he received his first beating as a child from some drunken villagers. He took a deep breath as he walked outside. He felt his chest being lighter somehow, as if a huge weight has been lifted. It was no longer his home, no longer his prison that tortured him on days out. It was just a memory now. The next time I'm back Konoha, it's going to be a bang. Naruto held out his palms, forming a Rasengan on each one. Rasengan. He thrust his palms straight into the wooden gate, causing it to be reduced to nothing but splinters. There were no remains of the gate from the powerful attack. It left behind only small remains of what once stood a tall proud gate. I hope they enjoy the new look. With one last look, the man who grew up without a childhood, the man who took the beatings from the villagers each and every day, disappeared into the vast forest, never to be seen again. An hour later, Naruto traveled fast on his feet, hoping to create enough distance between him and the village. They would definitely be sending hunter nins after him as soon as they become organized. He knew what their mission was and he wasn't going to be around for them to finish the job. Just when Naruto jumped from one tree to the next, he noticed something odd. He felt like he was going in circles. There was no doubt about it. He could feel something different, but he couldn't ignore this fake feeling. He landed near a bush, determined to perform a more thorough check, but when he put his hand near the bush, his hand went through the bush, indicating that he was caught in a genjutsu. Naruto frowned. Just when was I trapped in this genjutsu? I didn't even detect one. He recalled one of his earliest lessons from Arrow Sennin. The easiest way of breaking out of a genjutsu is to overload and disrupt the chakra flow. The Sanin's voice echoed through his head. He closed his eyes and began the process. Within minutes, huge amounts of chakra exploded from him at uneven intervals. When Naruto opened his eyes, his surroundings was completely different than before. His senses went on high alert when he felt another presence coming from behind him. "I'm glad to see that you are still in one piece." Itachi spoke up, stepping out from the trees, his cloak flapping quietly from the breeze. "You're late." Naruto glared at the man. "There were some issues that I had to resolve before leaving the village." "You could have left him for another time," Itachi pointed out. Naruto narrowed his eyes, wondering how he could have known what happened. His eyes widened slightly when he realized that Itachi never actually left the village. He stayed behind to monitor his activities from the sides. "You don't trust me?" Itachi shrugged, knowing that Naruto had already figured it out. "Think of it as a safety measure." Naruto sighed. Talking to this guy was like talking to Guy. Both of them were as strong as they were queer. The only time they were normal was when the situation required it to be. "I'm here about that deal, Itachi," Naruto stated. "Of course, follow me." Itachi turned around and walked deeper into the woods without mentioning another word. Naruto stared at the missing nin, wondering why he was being so cooperative. "Are you coming? We can talk about it in a more secure location," Itachi called from over his shoulders. Naruto watched Itachi's retreating figure before following him, his eyes constantly searching the area for any kind of trap. "Sit," the Uchiha ordered. Naruto looked around, taking his time to inspect the camp. He checked for any sort of traps and hidden weapons. It wasn't because he didn't trust Itachi, it was from his earlier experiences that told him not to put all your trust into one person. "Make yourself comfortable, Naruto-kun." Itachi spoke up, interrupting Naruto's thoughts. "Enough of the small talk, Itachi." Naruto interrupted. He was here for one reason and one reason only. To find out what Itachi knew. "I want that information." I held up my end of the bargain. "Now it's time to tell me what you know." "I see subtlety isn't one of your strong points," Itachi commented. "Did you seriously believe that by serving the council, they would respect you? You live in that dream world where you actually thought respect comes from the things that you done. It's time to wake up. You will always be the Kyuubi no Kitsune to them. Uzumaki Naruto never existed." Naruto growled. "Tell me something that I don't already know. Get to your point." Itachi glared. "Tell me. How corrupted do you think the village is?" Naruto shrugged. "At this point, I don't really care how corrupted in their filth they are. They could each in broad daylight and I wouldn't give a damn. It would save me the hassle of doing it myself." Itachi frowned. "Humor me. If you didn't hate them, just tell me how corrupted it is." Naruto shrugged, not really caring. Fine. Maybe there's some corruption in power. He sarcastically answered. Itachi raised an eyebrow, nodding at his response. You are only half right. He raised his finger. Now my next question to you is why do they want you dead? I'm the bloody freaking Kyuubi. I think that says enough. Naruto coldly answered. His patience was running thin because Itachi was asking questions that served no relevance to his cause. Itachi nodded, approving of his answer. When the council couldn't turn you into a weapon, you became a liability for them. You became a danger to everything they stand for. They detested your existence. They were afraid of you, afraid of whom you are, afraid of what you are. When they couldn't turn you into their weapon, they had to terminate you. They couldn't let a loose cannon wander around. Why don't you tell me something that I don't already know? If this is all to your secret Itachi, then I'm leaving. Do you remember the Uchiha massacre? Itachi quietly replied. This was a topic that he hasn't shared an outsider before, but it was finally time to pass on the story. Naruto quickly turned his attention towards Itachi, giving him an intense murderous glare. I'll take it as a yes. Itachi sat there, unfazed by the glare. He wasn't surprised with the look he received. With his little brother back in the village, Sasuke was a living, breathing reminder of the horrid events that took place that night. It was because of what you did that Sasuke turned out like this. Naruto erupted from his seat, his hand found its way onto Itachi's throat. Naruto slammed Itachi into a tree, his eyes beginning to change from blue to a bright red dotting intent started flowing out from Naruto like a faucet. Itachi struggled against Naruto's grip as he stared into his eyes. It was almost as if Naruto was staring into his soul, just waiting for him to die so he can devour it. It was you. Naruto coldly whispered. That set forth the chain of events that forever changed Konoha. Itachi felt the pressure around his throat increasing. He figured Naruto would do something rational, but he never expected him to be like this. He was caught completely off guard by the attack. He did the only thing that could have calmed anyone down. Bring out the evidence. He reached behind his back and took out a scroll. Read it and then you will understand. Naruto grabbed the scroll away from Itachi and opened it with his left hand, not releasing the Uchiha. He recognized the scroll. It was a personal scroll from the files of Sarutobi, the former third Hokage. As Naruto skimmed through the scroll, his eyes widened as he went from top to bottom. He couldn't believe the material that was written on it. It had to be all lies, it has to be. He found his hand shaking. No. His entire body was shaking from the news. He dropped both Itachi and the scroll before falling to his knees. Itachi massaged his throat, feeling glad to be free from the man's grip. Do you understand now? We, the mighty Uchiha clan, was one of the most corrupted clans to have ever lived in Konoha. Bribery, assassination, anything you can name, we did it. We were the backbone of the Konoha police force. Who would dare to stand against us? We had the power to conquer Konoha if we so desired it. They were your family. Naruto, still shaken up. It went against everything that he was taught, everything that he knew. There was no way the Sandaime could have given the order to execute of the entire Uchiha clan. The kind old man who gave his life to protect the village and everyone in it. Naruto closed his eyes, trying to calm himself down. Why would he order something like this? He cared for everyone in this village like his own family. The Sandaime realized that a number of clans were being corrupted from within Konoha. If a plant developed a bad root, you would cut it off before it spreads, to keep the plant normal. In this case, I did exactly the same thing. Do you feel no remorse from your actions? Naruto quietly asked. He didn't even look at Itachi. He just stared straight at the ground, desperately searching for other possible reasons. Itachi shook his head. The order was given and it was clear that there couldn't be any survivors. And Sasuke, there had to be someone left that can carry this burden and to come after me for the sins that I have committed. I have chosen Sasuke for this task. Naruto finally picked his head up, his eyes returning back to their original color. Silence engulfed the area, both men unable to find the right words to say to each other. You're just like me. We gave everything to serve Konoha and in the end, we were just a mindless soldier who did as they were told but was cast aside when we were no longer needed. Itachi spoke up, trying to show some emotion but failed miserably. Naruto never looked up, his hands clenching to the ground. I'm nothing like you, Itachi. I'm sure of that. Was he just another Itachi? Of course there were some similarities, but he was different. He had to be. I see. I will take my leave, but remember, the next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Itachi took a step back before disappearing into the darkness of the forest. Arg! Naruto screamed into the air, wanting nothing more than to let this pain out. Birds flew away from the area, trying to get away from the deafening roar. Tsunade gripped the table with her bare hands, trying to prevent herself from lashing out against them. It has been 2 hours since they started this meeting and they were getting absolutely nowhere. For the last time, it is not his fault. She yelled. These people weren't budging an inch. She tried for hours convincing them that Naruto wasn't at fault. Tsunade-sama. With all due respect, the demon almost did Danzo-san, wipe out about 20% of our forces, and cause the deaths of many civilians. How can we just let that slide? An elder spoke up. Tsunade growled in annoyance. They were just repeating and rephrasing the same thing over and over. If only there was some sign. Anything would do. Yoheim. She heard the door open and saw who was poking their head inside. Speak of the devil. He'll do just fine. Jiraiya. Tsunade nodded her head, granting him permission to enter the room. Several elders gasped around the room. You have the audacity to show your face in our presence after what you did. We should hang you for treason. Koharu threatened. Jiraiya ignored the woman's threat. He received much better threats than that, and compared to them, hers was childish. You have no control over me. I may be a ninja under the name of Konoha due to my contract, but nowhere in there does it state that I have to take orders from a group of ignorant fools. He faced the council. I am Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin, the title given to me by Hanzo himself. Both sides greeted each other with an intense glare. I would have let you guys die in cold blood if I had the chance. Jiraiya boasted. He wasn't afraid of them. These people have tasted the intoxicating essence of power and have become drunk with it. They are just not fit to be on the council anymore. Jiraiya. Tsunade called. He was making matters worse than it already is. If my student wanted, you guys would have been 10 feet under a long time ago. I truly train quite a few monsters. Jiraiya rubbed his chin, thinking back to his past students. They were truly a work of art. Jiraiya. Tsunade raised her voice a little. If I had my way, all of you would be. Jiraiya. Tsunade shouted, slamming her hands on the table. Yes. Jiraiya looked at her in surprise. He had forgotten that he was in the room with her while he was boasting off his achievements. Getting back to business. She cleared her throat. Something had to be done here. The balance of power has already shifted. If she doesn't act fast enough, the council will grow more powerful than the Hokage itself. We have decided to put Uzumaki into the bingo books. Homura stated. He is too dangerous to be left free. Fine. Rank a missing nin. She pulled out some paperwork, getting ready to write down the initial details. Rank SS. Hiyashi's voice spoke up. Both Jiraiya and Tsunade looked up, wondering if they heard the news right. Rank SS. Tsunade stuttered. Are you insane? Hiyashi stood up, knowing that it was his turn to explain the decision. He is classified as both a cage-level ninja and he also has the Kyuubi in him, the strongest of all demons. He deserves the rank of SS. He is better to us dead than alive. Other people started to join in, supporting Hiashi of his idea. No, Tsunade calmly said. I refuse to do it. Jiraiya started applauding slowly. I am the Hokage of this village and I do not see him as a threat. You have elected me as Hokage, to serve and protect this village and I will continue to do it until the day I die. She finished her speech by folding her arms, glaring at each member. Jiraiya, throughout the speech, stood up and was clapping loudly. I don't think you understand the situation, Tsunade-sama. We are in a time of crisis, which means that your power and our power are one and the same. During this time, we will vote and decide on important issues that concerns itself with the village. Kaharu spoke up this time. All in favor of the decision. Please stand up. One by one, leaders of different clans started standing up. Tsunade stared at each of them in disbelief. Why? Naruto was friends with your children. He would never harm a single hair on them. It is because of that reason why we decided to do it, Hokage-sama. Inoichi quietly said. We have children that we want to protect, the children that we want to see succeed us. They are our future and we must protect it for their sake. Before Tsunade could open her mouth. Inoichi is right. We're sorry, Tsunade-sama, but it is only for the best. Shikaku spoke up, interrupting her. Tsunade felt her anger just about to burst. These people are insufferable. Stubborn old fools were too afraid to let go of the old way. She slammed her fist down at the table, causing it to crack a little. Fine. Do what you want with his ranking, but know this, I will not be held responsible for whatever ninjas you send after him. With that last statement, Tsunade walked out of the room, leaving them to think it over. Naruto, for the second time today, started to feel tears dripping down his face. I will, he sniffled. I will never be manipulated again. From this day forward, the world and everything else in it is dead to me. He got up slowly, taking deep breaths. From this day forward, I will never be a Konoha ninja again. He summoned his blade of wind, scratching out the leaf symbol on his Hinata. May Kami-sama have mercy on the souls of those Konoha ninjas. He tied the Hinata on his arm. Because they will be as good as dead. He slowly walked away, disappearing into the forest. What am I going to do, Jiraiya? I just marked Naruto for death. Rank SS. That's just like saying, me now. Tsunade buried her head under her arms, feeling her heart breaking. I trained that Gaki Haim. Don't worry. If anyone could survive this, it's that kid. Like you keep your eye on those hot springs, I bet. Tsunade muttered under her breath. Jiraiya laughed. See what you can do. I'm going to start looking for him now. Jiraiya opened the window and jumped away, leaving the Hokage to collect her own thoughts. A knock appeared on the door, disturbing Tsunade. What the hell is it now? She barked out. She wasn't in the mood for this. The new bingo book, Hokage-sama. A timid Chunin answered. She quickly took it and was flipping through the pages until she reached the name she was looking for. Her eyes widened when she read the rank. So those bastards actually went through with it. She looked up and still saw the Chunin standing there. What the hell are you waiting for? Get out of my sight. The Chunin quickly ran out of the room, scared because of all those rumors concerning the Hokage. The legendary Tsunade, the slug princess, capable of smashing mountains with her bare hands and the best medics that resides in Konoha. It was a death wish to get on her bad side. Tsunade watched as the Chunin ran out of the room, probably feeling scared. Shizune. Get in here. The already pissed off woman screamed. Shizune immediately entered, already knowing what was tormenting her. Take this down. I want a team of trackers to go after Naruto immediately. I want to hear his side of the story. He is to be approached unharmed. Shizune jotted down the message, nodding her head as she took notes. Get me Kiba Inuzuka, Neji Hyuga and Shino Aburame. 2 out of the 3 are currently unavailable. Tsunade-sama. Why not? Tsunade raised her voice. Things were falling apart here. God, she missed her old gambling days. The days where all she had to worry about was debt collectors, not people's lives. Kiba and Neji are currently stated to be in critical condition from fighting with Naruto. Tsunade raised her eyebrow. At the same time, yes. This was rather interesting. Naruto just took out 2 of her best Junin at the same time. Get me Hatake Kakashi and Hinata Hyuga. Shizune looked through her list, nodding her head, indicating that they were available. Get to it. I want him found ASAP. Shizune hurried out of the room, knowing the state of anger Tsunade would have if things weren't done around here. Things are going accordingly to plan. A dark figure stood up from the chair smiling. And Danzo. The ninja hesitated before continuing. It looks like Naruto crippled him and his root unit before leaving Konoha. The man frowned. This wasn't good news. He needed Danzo for the next step. Damn that Jinchuriki. He became a wild card that was not to be underestimated. No matter. The wheels of fate is already turning. It is only a matter of time before Konoha crumbles under my power. The man started laughing. It wasn't the usual evil laugh from most villains, this one was more sinister, more diabolical. Well, what are you waiting for, Sasuke? Get out of my sight. As you wish, Shinrei-sama. Sasuke bowed and took his leave. Shinrei watched his apprentice's retreating form. Orochimaru was a fool to let you go. If it is power that you want, Sasuke, you better be careful for what you wish for. He started laughing once again before walking out of the room himself. Well, brat, you should have listened to me. Didn't I warn you that humans were greedy and ignorant? All you humans are just too pitiful, but it no longer matters, the ends will justify the means. A rough and deep voice echoed through Naruto's mind. Only the weak needs to rely on people. The strong only depends on themselves. Naruto scowled at the voice in his head. You dare to lecture me now? Where were you when I was getting ambushed by the village? He still haven't forgotten about that time when he was abandoned by the demon. I'm sorry. Did you want me to hold your hand while we waltz out of the village? In case you've forgotten, you have full access to my chakra at any given time. Stop your whining. I didn't train you so you can whine. Naruto felt the voice pounding inside his head, louder and harder each time. Enough preaching, Kyuubi. I need a place to lay low for a while. Any ideas?